Hello, this is Debbie from celestialastrologyhealing.co.uk. I thought I'd do a little follow-up video actually because I've been really thinking about... Hi, this is Debbie from celestialastrologyhealing.co.uk. I thought I'd do a little follow-up video actually on this date of the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus, today being the 30th of April 2022. Yeah, it's quite significant for me personally because it's taking place in my 6th house, which can be related to health and the body, healing, work, yeah, all sorts of stuff basically. So let me see if I can share. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, for anybody that's not used to the astrological wheel, depending on your stage of astrology and the journey that you're on, I'm quite happy to point things out. So basically, I don't like that. I always get confused with this bit. Yeah, so I'm a Sagittarius ascendant, so that's Sagittarius, and this is the whole sign house system because I've studied ancient astrology for the modern mystic with Achutabhava from Nightlight Astrology. So now I've gone over to whole sign house system. So just going around the wheel anti-clockwise, that's my ascendant, 27 degrees Sagittarius. That's the first house. We've got Capricorn, Aquarius, the water carrier. We can't see Pisces symbol here. That's where all the planets are in conjunction after the recent Neptune-Jupiter conjunction on the 12th of April 2022. We've got a lovely conjunction today with Venus and Jupiter conjunct at 27 degrees, and then we've got Aries in my 5th house. So this is really the area that I'm talking about that's significant for me today, and it has been building up, but let me circle it to make it clearer to see. So this is my 6th house of Taurus, and funnily enough, today I was actually in an MRI scanner having something checked about something in my brain anyway. I think I'm okay, but last year or maybe a year and a half ago I was getting some really dizzy spells, not really dizzy but disorientated visuals happening, which was really unusual. And so I had some investigations, and I had an MRI scan, and I have got something there, but it could have been something that I've been born with, some sort of cyst at the back of my brain, an arachnoid cyst. Apparently many people have them, or it could have been caused by an injury, and when I was about 13 I was run over, had a very bad head injury, and that's most likely where this cyst came from. But anyway, today I had a follow-up scan, and I was lying in this magnetic chamber vibrating away. It was just crazy, and I was just breathing and relaxing and trying to not allow fears to overtake. But yeah, look at this. Uranus, 14 degrees Taurus, 31 minutes, is exactly conjunct pretty much my north node of the moon in the 6th house of Taurus. So Uranus can be about sort of upheavals, unexpected things that happen, sudden things, explosive things, light bulb moments of inspiration. Uranus can be like earthquakes, unexpected eruptions from volcanoes, just really unpredictable things. So yeah, hopefully, I'm just wondering how this is all going to pan out, because at the same time it's my it's the solar eclipse here later on tonight. The moon will be conjoining with the sun at 10 degrees, what's that, 8 minutes in Taurus. So yeah, I think it's about 8:30 or so GMT PM time. You would have to adjust that to the time zone where you live. So yeah, so I've got this new moon solar eclipse in my 6th house of Taurus. So the 6th house in ancient astrology is, I think it's called the house of, is it bad fortune, or yeah, I think it's a bad fortune because the fifth house is Venus's of good fortune, and Mars is the domicile ruler of the sixth house naturally. So Mars can bring up conflict, strife, separation, argument, or it can just be really fiery and usually quite energetic and active. And the sixth house traditionally was known as a house of service. So if you had servants in the past, God forbid, it's the house of service. And nowadays, in modern times, it's about everyday service, everyday work. Your toil, your day-to-day work, that just feels a bit like, yeah, a bit routine, a bit like, oh God, this is just like something I have to do every day. It can be looking after people. It can be how you're of service to others. I certainly enjoy providing good service to people that I do astrology charts for. And also in our business where we make and sell leather and jewellery, I certainly work hard. So Taurus is a sign where it's very grounded, earthy, ruled by Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, known as Aphrodite. So Taurus is very much a feminine, earthy, fixed sign. So after the busyness of Aries, it's the time, the energy is sort of slowing down a little bit. It's like we're planting the seeds now in the soils that are warming, the soils of Mother Earth. And at this time of the solar eclipse, we can plant our seeds of intention of what we hope to germinate over the next 6 months. So planting our dreams, planting ideas of projects, initiating new things, and not expecting a quick fix result, because solar eclipses can come to fruition around 6 months later. And we will be having a full moon lunar eclipse in November. I can't remember exactly the date. I know there's one in October, I think, and then the final one is in November. And yeah, I think it's going to be right at the end degrees here. So I think there's going to be some conjunctions to my Mercury. I have got my modern planets in there, which we don't always do in Hellenistic astrology, because the ancients never saw the outer planets such as Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. Saturn was the boundary planet. But anyway, because I've studied modern astrology and ancient astrology, I'm interested to see if they are affected by the transits. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there. And basically what you can do for yourself is look at your own natal chart, if you're aware of that, and then look at where the axis of Taurus is in your natal chart. So if Taurus was in your first house, the first house is related to the sense of self, your body, your personality, your mindset. It's very physical. It's really about you expressing yourself. If Taurus is on the second house cusp, this is more about feelings of what you have to feel secure, or your own resources of what you can do to actually bring a sense of sort of financial gain, or using your business acumen or your skills to create that security. The third house would be about communications and interactions with others within the local environment. Third house can be like using technologies, short journeys, siblings, aunts, uncles, that sort of relationship. Fourth house is very much about your home, your family, your history, sometimes related to the father in traditional astrology, your ancestry and roots, the place of where you would retreat to. That's the fourth house. The fifth house is the Venus's joy, about pleasures, fun, enjoyment, love, romance, anything that is going to give you a sense of joy in life. So so basically that's fifth house. It can be children, it can be creative pursuits, as well as love affairs, sports, gambling, whatever rings your bell, basically. The sixth house, as I've just said, is the house of toil, hard work, health. I'm actually thinking, maybe this is just going to really give me a boost to promote my astrology, because I'm in this transition point in my life. where I've just started doing astrological readings for people. So it's like plugging away. That's why I'm doing this video. I used to be fearful about sharing anything of myself personally, but here I am now. Hopefully you can get a sense of what I'm like if you want to do a reading. So yeah, maybe Uranus in my 6th house is about sudden changes, innovations, new ideas, originality that I can bring. And obviously maybe upheavals in my health, because I've got a few things going on. As you do as you get older, things come up, old injuries can come up. Anyway, so the first 6 houses are all about the self, and then we share. It's about shared experience as we go across to the 7th house, opposite the 1st house. So it's about relationships. It's about partnerships. So first self, opposite other, shared relationships. Opposite the second house is the 8th house. So personal resources is the 2nd house. The 8th house is more about shared resources, what you do with others, how you share the burdens of financial debt or bills, or support each other, or karmic debt is also another term I've heard. The 3rd house opposite the 9th house. So it's local travel, opposite further distance travel, like foreign climes, other cultures, learning the higher mind, philosophy, spiritual pursuits, pilgrimages, further education. So is that solar eclipse taking part in any of those houses? Oh, your 10th house, that's opposite the home. So it's career, it's what you're seen to do in the public sphere, in the public eye, because it's very visible, the 10th house. So it can be your career, or it can just be what you're seen to do publicly, like a vocation thing that really, really is part of your personality. The 11th house is Jupiter's domain of hopes and wishes, and it's about benefactors. So the 11th house is opposite the 5th house. 5th house is Venus's joy, opposite Jupiter's joy. So it can be about benefactors, people that are helpful within your tribe, your community, friends that support you to bring your dreams to fruition in shared groups. And then the 12th house is opposite the 6th house, which is Saturn's domain. Is it the house of bad spirit? Yeah, that's where I've got my solar eclipses going on this year, 6th and 12th, and I've heard that they're not the best houses, but let's see. I'm always positive. 12th house can be the place where you feel less control, because the 1st house is about the helm of the ship, where you can really be yourself, really express yourself, whereas the 12th house is more the hidden place, the furthest place away, place of seclusion, place of privacy, a place that you can be looking for answers within the mystical realms, which is very much what I like to open myself up to feel. There's more than this 3D world. There's more that we can attune ourselves to open our minds and our beings, in the belief that this is just one lifetime. Our birth chart this lifetime is what we have to work with. We've had many lifetimes before. These are the lessons this lifetime. So the 12th house is very much a mystical house, and it can be a house of service, compassion, and caring for others that are maybe in places of suffering, such as remote, hidden places, such as hospitals, institutions, hospices, that sort of thing. And I've certainly worked in those areas before as a midwife, in hospitals. So yeah, that's it's interesting. So just have a look at where the moon and the sun conjunct in Taurus are in your own birth chart, and I'll put it in the link below where you can look for your own birth chart on a free link on astro.com or astroseek.com, and then you can do your own chart. If you can get your time of birth, that's really quite important, and this is on birth certificates in many countries, not in England. It is in Scotland, it's not in Ireland. So wherever you are in the world, try to get the accurate time of birth, because that can really help get your accurate ascendant, which then makes the house cusps to know which houses are relevant for the planets that are placed within the houses. So may your dreams come to fruition. There's always positivity to think about. Everything is impermanent. Let's embrace this moment. Let's shine our light out. And thank you for listening. And if you're interested in a reading, I have a new website. I'll put the link below. I do mini readings for people that can't afford much, although my prices are very good at this stage. I do shorter readings and I do full readings with all my typed notes sent afterwards and a live Zoom recording that you can keep. So many blessings. Happy full moon in Taurus at solar eclipse. And positive love and peace. Thanks for listening.